Festive felicitations. It's Billy Reeves here with the Kscope Podcast roundup of a fabulous year 2025. We'll hear from our old friend Bruce Soord, who's the guinea pig for my new game show, Maiah Wynne from Envy of None, Colin Edwin of Porcupine talking about O.R.k, Gleb Kolyadin from I Am the Morning on his most recent solo LP. We'll look into a gig on the moon with Giancarlo from Nosound. We'll try and work out how Clark, Phil and Andy from our new signing Ihlo work together, despite the fact that they don't actually know each other. Jonathan Hultén on how he's developing his solo career into next year. Look out for that. Brace yourself as we hear from Thomas Anderson on the concept of the new Gazpacho album. Not to mention a chat on top of a roof in Deptford with Spiral K Octoflash. But getting ourselves into a winter solstice mood, our old friend John Gom, his new single, stroke YouTube video, stroke guitar lesson, stroke t-shirt, is his take on Shedrik, the Ukrainian folk song about the first swallow of the new year, which has become a Christmas staple as Carol of the Bells. Shedrik, John Gom. Get yourself over to johngom.com. immediately after you've listened to me. Now, talking of virtuoso guitarists stroke songwriters, Jonathan Hultén at the end of January dropped River Flame, a new single from his album Eyes of the Living Eye. A stunning video again, this time a live action one, and Jonathan Hultén is getting more confident, more used to the idea of himself as a solo artiste. There's going to be a tour next year, a full band perhaps is in the works, so I started off my conversation with him about that. How is this whole project developing?
The way I initially started to think about this project was to see it as an art project rather than a music project. So around maybe 10 years ago, I was imagining, let's just have dancers on stage and maybe like different constellations of musicians coming and going, and it doesn't have to be the original name of the project was Chants from Another Place, and I guess things changed and turn into more into a more singer-songwriter direction. But the art aspect of trying different constellations and like trying new things out and not being quite sure where things are going, that aspect is still there. So yeah, I think I want to concentrate more on that in the future. So absolutely, that would be lovely.
Chants from Another Place gestated over a long period of time. Was the creative process behind this album the same, or was it different?
There was not any rush to see things turn out in a certain way or so, but this time around I actually started writing the songs for this album in the beginning of 2023 with Chants from Another Place, the debut album. That material there was written over a period of almost 10 years, maybe eight years or so. So instead of letting things unfold slowly over time, I wrote a huge bank of songs. The sketches amount to maybe up to 100 sketches, or it might have ended up even more than that in the end. But then over time, I guess over a limited time, you choose which ones of those sketches that happens to resonate the most over the next couple of weeks. And there are certain sketches you might return to and feel like, okay, here's something that I still feel is relevant or to how I feel today, and not only a month ago or a week ago, but I still feel that there's something there. You're excavating something based on a vague intuition. Then you just keep digging from within, and all of a sudden you're sort of sculpting something. So it's as if the songs sort of have their own will.
Yeah. Once you put it in order, then once you'd mastered it, how do you want people to react to it? How would you like people to listen to it? How do you want people to consume it?
Yeah, it's written to be experienced as a whole, from the first song to the last, because there is a subtle story being told. I guess it was the same thing on Forest Sessions. So if there is a possibility to include that aspect, I always want to do that.
You come from a folk tradition, a Scandinavian classical tradition, perhaps, rather than a rock tradition. Certainly you can hear those influences on this album. Would that be fair, do you think?
Yeah, the classical and folk music is definitely there. It has inspired me a lot, but also a lot of English poets and artists have inspired me, as well as blues and rock and roll, definitely, and it maybe even more so on this new album. For example, on River Flame, where I just embraced that a little more. That one in particular has been pretty. It was a bit scary making it, because it's so it's not hiding behind any harmonies or thick layers of multiple tracks and synthesizers. It's more about the song, and that's something new. Maybe that's if I were to pick one song that maybe challenged me the most, that would be the one.
Like fire, all things have their time. Oh yeah, to live, dance and die. Like friendships, firm like rock and stone. Oh yeah, yet some turn to sand someday. While you're alive, bring out your soul, create with joy, dance while you can, so let them feed on your heart anymore. And faces passing like the moons. Ah, yeah. Time is an endless river. All its forms are fleeting, its flow is meaning. Don't wait to act, dream things into life. Embrace it, let it fall into the fire that burns in us. As you live on, do you feel it? Yes, a small flame of hope. Phase after phase, worlds change. Bring out your soul before death's door. Dance while you can. Let sadness hold you back anymore. Be aware. Through mazes, may you find your way.
Jonathan Hultén. That's entitled River Flame, a single which came out on Kscope at the end of January 2025. The LP that's from is called Eyes of the Living Night. Now, at the end of February, our friend Gleb Kolyadin released his most recent solo LP, which is entitled Mobula. The virtuoso keyboard player and composer from I Am the Morning collated a series of pieces that had already been recorded and released on his Instagram page and for Patreons and the like. So he wanted to put together tracks that had the same feeling. How did he do that? What was that uniting mood?
Because the music is very, very simple. It's not like the Outland, my previous album, because all the ideas there were unreleased and
unconnected when you wrote them. Then
this is I would say the first time where I've decided to use very old material, because some of the tracks, they're actually 10 or 15 even years old.
Wow.
and they're so simple. But I just love the mood. I just love when I listen to this music now. I feel like it is kind of a diary of the person traveling to another like a fictional world, another planet.
When you start writing them, they're abstract.
Yeah.
They're from right brain. How do you then title them? I love the titles of these. When I was a kid, I loved Joy Division, and the reason I loved Joy Division was because their songs were called things like Disorder, Interzone, Transmission. So how do you decide to? Did you specifically make the effort to go? It's going to be one word.
Well, what can I say? I mean, you can ask Mariana about this because
well,
Mariana,
she's right here.
Mariana, she's.
Was she in charge of titling them?
She's giggling, because I asked her to help with all these titles because I have no idea what these tracks like about. I don't have any specific idea when I compose some music. I don't have any specific titles. So, for example, people who follow me on my Patreon, they know like I sometimes upload their new music, and I usually name all the tunes by the dates they were composed. So, for example, 28, 11, 18. But because people usually label everything, so you cannot avoid to name.
Gleb Kolyadin, and that is entitled Glimmer. Now, O.R.k. are what we would have called, when I was a lad, a supergroup, featuring Colin Edwin of Porcupine Tree, award-winning film composer and vocalist Leth, King Crimson's Pat Mastelletto, and the firebrand of the fretboard Marta Suitubi's Carmelo Pipitoni. They live all over the world and yet are a group, and yet are a touring group, and have released another album. On the 21st of March this year, it's called Fire Hose of Falsehood. So I spoke to the boy Edwin and asked him, how do they keep it together as a cohesive unit when they're quite literally all over the place?
Well, I think we've spent quite a lot of time together at this point, and there definitely was a sort of chemistry, that when we first... The very first thing that we did, we all recorded the whole album separately, and then we came together to do a tour. Yeah. And I can remember at the time, it was like, we've got to make it work. And it sort of worked better than any of us thought it would. And we all got on really well. There's a sort of Venn diagram of, when you've got the right people involved, there's a Venn diagram where you all meet and you've all got the right kind of intent. And we've definitely always had that. And we sort of know each other, and we sort of give each other space, I think, for what, this is all unseen, unspoken, it just happens. I can sort of appreciate what Carmelo does. I spend a lot of my time listening to him and fitting around him and coming up with things, but I understand his sort of thought process in the way he puts things together. I can sort of see in my head a diagram of how to play with what he does, a lot of the time. And a lot of what he does is pretty off the wall. So not every person would necessarily feel the same way as me. But and the same with Pat. I can recognise, with Pat, he will do things that are very unexpected. We might have, we're working on a song and Pat usually gets to it last, so we have a structure that we give him, and then he comes back with something. And I'm always sort of thinking, I wonder what he's going to do, or how he's going to improve the idea. And somehow he always does. So he always does something unexpected. He always does something quirky. He always does something that makes me then go back and change what I've done. Yeah. And it's all unspoken. It's all just, it's sort of, in a way, we're having a sort of extended listen to each other, I guess.
Wow, that's amazing. Because personality-wise, I always think that every band has a Tigger, every band has a poo, and every band has an Eeyore. Right? Is that the case with you? Because you're being really hippie about it. Going, hey man, we listen to each other. That surely not. There's no band. Who's the Tigger? Who's the poo? And who's the Eeyore?
No, I think that we're all kind of taking it on board at certain times. Maybe it's a rotating cast. It's a rotating.
Well, look out for it. Look out for it next time you're together.
Just another time I let it go, with a thirst to fly above it all. Dead mind seeking something sure. Fate twists for nothing more. Look for ground.
O.R.k. The album is Fire Hose of Falsehoods, and that is the other side. Now, talking of supergroups, how about Andy Curran, Alfio, Anna Bellini, Alex Lifeson, most famously of Rush, and vocalist, composer, producer, viral megastar Maiah Wynne on vocals. They're called Envy of None. We had a new album, their second full-length album, in March, Stygian Waves, and also a single, The Thrill, as well this year. So according to Maiah, now, is this a band or a project or what?
You know, it's really interesting because on the first record, we started out as strangers. When we first started working together, I didn't really know Andy, I didn't really know Alf, and I didn't know Alex was even going to be a part of the project at that point. So it really was a slow burn for us getting to know each other, but the creative spark was always there, and that excitement to work together was always there. Everything really clicked naturally and started to flow from the beginning. But I do feel like we've become close over the last few years, and on this second record, I do feel like it's made a difference to the music that we've made. You know, most bands, they start out as friends and then they start playing music together, and we did the opposite. We were strangers and then we became friends throughout the process of making music. And now that we're closer, we've developed, we've grown, we've had this growth as a group, and we feel like a team now. We feel like a family. I love these guys, and I feel like we really are a unit now, and I think that what makes us feel like a band rather than just a project. I also feel like a lot of it has to do with our musical growth. We have 2 records of work that we are really proud of, and I think that also adds to that feeling of us being more than just a project. Like, this is a band now. Throughout the last 8 years that we've been working together, I've gotten certified in Pro Tools, I've done classes through Women's Audio Mission, I've learned Ableton, I've gotten a certification from Berklee online. I did all of these things because it just opened this door, and I wanted to keep learning and keep exploring and keep trying new genres. It really scratched an itch that I always had to like make heavier, darker, grungier music, because I always wanted to be in a rock band growing up, especially when I went through my rock band phase when I was playing Guitar Hero all the time as a tween, and like getting to do this, I love music, so I would love to keep exploring every genre possible. I know that with Envy of None, we have really kept the door open. With every song that we've worked on, nothing's off the table. We push ourselves with each song to try something new, to keep pushing ourselves in different ways musically. And, you know, we've been really lucky in that most of the time we really don't have any conflict or disagreements about the music. We're all working really hard together as a team to create the best music that we can.
Honestly, what a riff, what a great song. Envy of None, Stygian Waves, the title track of their most recent album. Check it out. Now, holding the world record for amount of appearances on the Kscope podcast is, of course, our old chum Bruce Soord. In the summer, Bruce released a 10th anniversary edition of his self-titled solo album, Half Speed Master at Abbey Road. So I decided to ask him some questions about that and challenge him to be the first contestant on my new game show. The remastering of the first solo album, At Abbey Road, Half Speed Mastering. Why is that such a big deal? Because it's on the sales notes.
Yeah, it's a big thing. I mean,
Why?
To be honest, you'd have to speak to Steve, the mastering engineer,
I
about
will.
what the beauty is of half-speed mastering is. And I guess, you know, it's a vinyl world. You know, it's a different world, isn't it?
What is half speed mastering though?
Do you know what?
Why is everything going at half speed? Why does that make it better?
No idea.
So I'm
Speak
just writing
to
this
Steve.
down. Studio nerd, but not mastering
No,
nerd.
exactly.
I'm going to ask Steve. Join me as we play prog rock group or poisonous mushroom.
All right, go.
Bruce Soord. There's 10 of these. Prog rock group or poisonous mushroom. Aphrodite's Child.
Oh, that's a prog rock group, isn't it?
Correct. Secret Green.
No, that's got to be a Poison.
It's a band.
No.
Sorry, Secret Green. Conifer Disco.
There's no way you'd call a poisonous mushroom a disco. That's got to be a band.
Incorrect.
Oh, that's
it's
not
a mushroom.
fair. That's a trick question. Right,
but
come on.
They're all trick questions.
That's
but
1 out
always-
of 3.
Oh, God, you're much more competitive than I thought. Satan's Bolette.
Mushroom.
Correct. Red Nova. Mushroom or band?
Band.
It is a band. Well done. Pink Crowns.
Mushroom.
It is a mushroom. God, he's good. It's Arctic Plant.
Arctic Plant. That sounds like a band to me.
It is a band. Obviously, I'm asking the right guy here. Destroying Angel.
Oh, well, that's... Oh.
That's
Band.
not- It's a mushroom.
No, I was going to say
Oh.
mushroom.
Amanta Verna.
Mushroom.
It is a mushroom, yeah. And finally, Siren's Legacy.
Well, surely Siren's Legacy. I've got all their albums.
Well done. 7, I think. It is a band. It's 7.
That's pretty good.
That's Thank you for joining me.
That must put
as
me
we
top.
played so far. Yeah, because you're the only person that's played.
If you knew how beautiful the breeze blew when everybody left you in this field, you look out, step by step you move out, 'cause everybody left you in this field with the procession of the sleepwalkers. I know that road so well. They'll hunt you down and leave you lifeless. Run like hell. you lifeless. Run like hell.
Bruce Soord, Field Day Part 1, one of my favourite Bruce Soord tracks. An album, as the cover suggests, about growing up in Yeovil. That's a song about his first day at school. Lovely, lovely tune from a lovely, lovely guy. Bruce Soord, the debut solo album, had a 10th anniversary half-master reissue this year. And talking of 10th anniversaries, Gong, I See You. Now, this was quite a radical reissue because it was remastered and remixed from the original tape. So I caught up with Gong at their rehearsal room. We went up on the roof like the Beatles. It's in Deptford, so a charming part of London. Carvers Tarabi and Dave Sturt joined me for a chat about I See You. So we start off by speaking to Mr. Spiral K Octoflash.
Well, David wanted to give me a Gong name. I think he gave me two options. There was he gave me two options. Octoflash was in there. I think it was something Z Octoflash, but I added Spiral because, and I'm saying this for the first time, this is coming out not that this is going to be internet breaking news in any way. I had a brief side hustle of writing and performing songs to teach German children how to speak English.
Obviously.
And the side hustle of writing these songs, I put my name, my professional name, I thought I'd give myself was Pip Spiral. So as a nod to that, I took the Spiral from Pip Spiral, took the K of Carvus, and David added the Octoflash. He'd given me a number of names, and he said choose one. And so that became a sort of hybrid, Spiral K Octoflash.
It's kind of nice to be able to choose your own nom de guerre.
Yeah, choose my own nom de guerre.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
I mean, I think I was a couple of weeks younger than I am now before I realised that, of course, it's ICU. And, of course, having spent quite a lot of time myself in ICU, I really should have sussed that out.
Although, that said, I think he'd had the idea for ICU before he was in ICU.
Before he was poorly. You've got to say these things out loud. So memories of writing it.
Yeah, that was an interesting time. Yeah, because we just formed the band. Really, that version of the band just kind of come together with Orlando, and especially on drums. And Fabio. That was Fabio's first album as well. Yeah. So what inspired it? I don't know really. David asked if we had any ideas, so we all contributed.
Right. Yeah.
Stuff that we had around us that we thought might be suitable. The first sessions were in Mosh, a studio in Sao Paulo. We did some recording there, and we spent half of the time just improvising. There was a lot of just bass and drums, just playing.
Did the environs inspire it at all?
That was a beautiful studio.
It's one crappy rehearsal room.
This was a beautiful old style studio. Okay. So it was a really, really fabulous place. There's some film of us recording there. Actually, you can see how lovely it was.
It's nice that you put that. That dovetails nicely because it's nice that you put that it was a kind of beginning rather than an end 10 years ago. What's everybody's relationship like with it now? I'll start with you. Have you listened to it recently? What's your relationship with it now? 10 years on.
This version of it is has found aspects of it that I'd totally forgotten. Really, I think that the original mix was problematic just because of the situation, with David's illness and the time and the distance, because Orlando was was mixing it in Australia, and
like you do.
And Fabio's in Brazil and the rest of us in England, so it was a challenge. But a lot of the writing kind of was sort of remote as well. I remember ICU, the track, that was based on just a bass and drum jam for about 15 minutes or something. And I was astonished when I heard what he'd done to it. It was like so not what I was expecting.
I see you. I missed you. Hey, listen. What? Let's go there. I'm crazy, lazy. God, I'm an old man. Not cool. You come to check out the band? You're just crazy like me. And so I'm thinking, let's go drinking. I'll see you in your dreams.
The title track of I See You by Gong, the 10th anniversary version. So, in the high summer, a trip to Norwich in the very far east of England was in order to catch up with our old chum Giancarlo Erra of Nosound, who had just released a beautiful compact monochrome album entitled To the Core. Now, as well as being a producer and songwriter and a piano player and guitarist and musician and singer, Giancarlo is also a keen visual chronicler of the heavens. So therefore, being an astronomer and photographer thereof, I had to ask him the following question. If I was to give you £1 billion pounds, right, which celestial body would you perform this album live on?
Oh, nice.
A small moon?
Probably, I was probably a moon because it is monochromatic. So I was thinking, even our moon is quite.
Oh right, okay.
It's quite monochromatic.
Just a mere 250,000 miles away.
Yeah. I would say our moon. You know, there is still Earth in view, so it's nice. It's still near the heart.
Okay.
So the Earth, but probably the moon. The moon is quite monochromatic. It's very like slow and quiet.
It has its own music. apparently, I understand.
Well, yeah, actually.
At the thrum of the moon.
Yeah.
So therefore, you could do the first gig on the moon.
That would be
lovely. Sound do the first gig on the moon.
We have done the first few gigs, we've done the first gig on the Teide Observatory for the Starmus Festival. We've done the first gig as the temple, the Garni Temple in Armenia. So we've done a few first and only ones. No one has played on the Teide Observatory ever after us. So that is, we cannot do one on the moon.
There's how would that work? How would it be done if there's zero gravity?
Well, there are
what would happen to the sound?
I don't know. Well, sound obviously doesn't travel without air, so we need to solve that problem first. I would say, well, actually there are two options. Yeah. So you can either do it indoors, so we need to make it nicely indoors. Maybe we discover somewhere where there is water.
Some oxygen, perhaps.
Well, we can do it maybe near the poles where supposedly there is some frozen water.
Oh, right, really?
So maybe we can extract that.
The poles of the moon? They're supposedly...
Well, supposedly, they need to discover. Yeah, basically in the craters where there's never, the sun never reaches there.
Oh, right, okay.
There is a hypothesis that there might be frozen water there.
Right, okay.
So we have to do that.
Yeah.
That would be nice. And as you know from today, I don't like anyway too much heat, so I would rather be near where there is frozen water.
Yeah. Nosound. That's the title track of the LP, To the Core. Into the autumn, and exciting news after a 5-year hiatus, a new album from new Kscope signings, Ihlo, I-H-L-O, proper rock music from young strapping lads. Now, they're an interesting lot because they didn't know each other. They weren't pals who formed a band at all, and really interesting gestation and, again, geographical challenges. So that's where I started. You'll first hear from Clark, then Phil, then Andy. How do they keep it together?
It takes a lot of, oh, you free this weekend? No, but I'm free this weekend. Oh, well, I can't make it this weekend. Between 5 adults who all have busy, worthless lives. Yeah. So we nailed down one for the other week, and we all met up in Newcastle as kind of a halfway point.
Yeah, Newcastle being the meeting, the halfway point between Aberdeen and where I am, which is arbitrarily chose somewhere in between. So, you know, how does it work? It doesn't really. The logistics don't really work, but we just do our best to make them work because it's the only way that we can do it right now. So
this was the first situation in like 7 or 8 years where we've actually got together and rehearsed, and we haven't immediately had to do a gig like in the next 24 hours. So that was quite luxurious.
Someone said to me many years ago that being in a band is like a permanent holiday with your mates. And I thought, great, I'm going to have some of that. But of course, it's nothing like that, isn't it? It's especially these days. So how do you how did you become a band in the first place if you all live in different places? Clark, you first.
So I knew of Andy in the scene because I'm also from Aberdeen. So the name Prog Fox was floating around all Facebook, and I think you had a SoundCloud as well, didn't you?
I did, yes. I posted all my shenanigans on there.
And so I was already a fan of Andy's music. We're like mutuals on Facebook, memes and whatever. And he just hit me up one day and been like, hey, I need a live drummer for this project. Are you in? And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And so they sent me the 2 songs they'd finished so far, which was Reanimate and Starseeker. And I was like, well, these are really good, but, I do some drum programming, so, I can add a little bit here and there. And then it basically just turned into me writing the whole thing. Andy and Phil, I know, met on... Was it forums and stuff, talking about doing an electronic?
It was just on Facebook.
Was it Facebook?
Again, I just saw Andy kicking about, and I was already writing my own stuff. It was kind of like very, very proto Ihlo. It had like the beginnings of the proggy, metally, electronic-y foundation that Ihlo was going to be. But it was just me by myself. And then I sent them to Andy because I knew that he existed as someone in the space. And he was like, this is great. Do you want singing? Do you want vocals? And I was like, cool, let's do vocals. And then we wrote a whole album. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Andy, how did you then, if you were the fulcrum of that then, that nerd world, how did you do your checks and balances on everybody being in the group? Because obviously you shared similar interests, but how did you know that they weren't a bunch of wankers?
Well, with Phil, I had no idea. If I'd known what I know now, who knows? Who knows? No, I think it. I don't know. There was just something about the music that he was doing and the slow way that we started talking and communicating. Like, there was no bullshit. There was no past experiences. There was no, oh, I've seen this guy kicking around the scene or college or something like that. So, to each other, we were just blank slates. And a lot of situations that's not going to work. Like, who knows? People don't get on well. People do get on well. I think because we were completely blank slates and we approached it wanting to just do music, we kind of approached it with like a sort of very professional, for the age that we were, business-minded type thing, where it's just like, right, no bullshit. Like, we want to just try to write good music together. We have no alliance, no allegiances to each other, nothing or other. Like, if someone's feelings get hurt, then it's because of what we're doing right now. It's not gonna, like, I'm not gonna offend Phil's long lost cousin or something because that's how we met. With Clark, yeah, like we kind of knew each other like in the scene and like sort of mutuals, but I think I'd only met him like once at a show in Glasgow, you know. Up until we really started like actively working on the music, we didn't know each other like at all. It was just this little triangle that eventually started getting closer and closer, and all the points got together and we finally met after having focused explicitly on the music.
Alien thoughts in me, static and noise in my head is broken and torn. I know it's taking control of me. We'll fall in line. We'll give way a simulate. You tear apart, strip away what makes us pure. It's overtaking me, all that I know is washing away. And if I'd known that we'd never be the same, felt by the side, we're alone. I know that you're here, my echo, every move I make in pain and I never know which way to look, bleeding from your broken hook. It's overtaken me, and it's taking control. It's taking control. I know that you're here, my echo, every move I make in pain and I always know which way to look, taking everything from you to make myself complete. I've got
Ihlo from Legacy. That's entitled Replica. Best gig I went to this year was Ihlo in Camden. My ears are still ringing. Goodness me, what a band. Go and see them. Now, the winter appropriately bought a new album from everybody's favourite Norwegian progressive conceptual art rockers, Gazpacho. And of course it's always really good fun to tap up Thomas Anderson for an explanation of what is always a strong concept. Brace yourselves, here he is.
Well, this morning I got up and I thought, I hope he doesn't ask that question. So then I got into a long shower, and then I realized what the album was about. It's a concept album about fate in a godless world. And by that I mean that we've removed God, haven't we? We live in the world of the scientific method. And when we removed God, we left an empty throne. And no throne ever stays empty. So we put chance in its place, because now if something bad happens to you, that was just your bad luck. Like your car crash, that was just bad luck. Or as the doctor said to my mother when she had her cancer diagnosis, they said it's just bad luck. Whereas back in the day, you would think it may have been karma or it may have been God's will. We've removed Daddy, haven't we? And with chance, we now say that everything only happens because of the throw of the dice, or in the case of this album, the shake of a magic 8-ball. We removed God and put a plastic toy on the empty throne. That was the idea of the album.
The thing is, though, God has only been around for a very short while in human existence. God was put there to bring order to what was apparently chaotic. So if we're now looking for order, where is the order?
Well, there is no order. There is only chance.
Right.
Scientific method will tell you that there's a cause and effect. But then with all the quantum stuff, then there is no cause and effect. We've painted ourselves into a corner. I think the scientific method was a great blessing and a great curse at the same time. And I think that in the case of this album, we had 8 different people with 8 different fates.
Yeah.
And that was the idea of the album, just to have 8 different shakes of the magic 8-ball. But then in the shower this morning, as I was talking about, I realized that all of these songs are about people who are trapped. So there's 8 different people trapped in a situation. And I had no idea that was what it was all about until my brain served me this at the end of this very long shower. I saw it through the steam, Billy. I saw it through the steam.
A promise where the fabric of resolve. There's 1,000 ways to make it and 1,000,000 more to fold. And how do you tell a creditor you've never been this poor? Eerily familiar as he's knocking at your door. Hesitant walls tumble and turn on the life slide. Chance on your side, dot in the line, sign and the joke is on you now. Master of clowns, the fate and trace of who you are. Your idea, and now you wish upon a star. Your idea. Your idea. Beneath the blue horizon where the night and dreams collide, the bottle that you drank from the corpse of Father Time. When you spill the ink and start to settle all your debts, the failure's gonna haunt you in a vacuum of intent. Fall to the ground, murder the joke, not the crown. Clown, fading.
Gazpacho, that's called 8 Ball from the new album Magic 8 Ball, which is out right now. There's a big European tour upcoming in the spring. I'll see you at the London show up there in Islington in North London, and I truly believe that in Jan Henrik, Gazpacho are one of the very best singers in contemporary music. Once again, thank you so much for supporting the Kscope podcast, these wonderful independent artists and this wonderful independent label. Do please like and share wherever you find it, and do please tell your friends about the Kscope podcast. Now, a little treat to finish with. Textures. Yes, the Dutch Masters are back with their first album in a decade. It's called Genotype. It comes out on Kscope on the 23rd of January. You will hear an exclusive interview with Steph from the band in the next Kscope podcast, which I've done, and it's hugely, brilliantly amusing and interesting. So we're going to finish with the current single out now. This is Textures and Vanishing Twin. Billy Reeves out. Happy New Year.
My insides, they hurt. They twist and convert the body into mind.